All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and great glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Achah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and salutations to the elect pushing this truth to the four corners of the earth in truth and sincerity. All right, in this particular video, I want to touch on the oil shortage, the gas shortage. Okay, as you can see right here, out of fuel. Your local gas station is next. That because this war in the Middle East that's happening right now between the United States, Israel, and Iran is affecting global oil trades, basically, man. The Iranians shut down the Straits of Hormuz, and the Houthis joined the battle as well, and they shut down the Red Sea, the Canal Suez, which produces, or that artery is responsible for letting 12% of Earth's oil come through there. The Straits of Hormuz is responsible for 20% of global oil. So combining them, you got 30% of global oil that's being cut, and it's affecting the world so bad that they're looking at a global market crash because of it. Okay, a global market crash. They're talking about fuel rationing. All right, which some countries are already implementing fuel rationing. What does that mean? That means they implement a system, and this could be odd, even license plate numbers. So if yours end with a odd number, you get it this day. If it ends with an even number, it ends that day. I mean, you can get it another day. All right, they'll implement certain things, and the police will be out there enforcing it. Even the National Guard, man. All right, and this because crime rates will skyrocket. A lot will skyrocket because people will be losing their jobs because this oil shortages or gas shortage, fuel shortage, fuel crisis is affecting everything. All right, so let's say this is a quick scenario. Let's say they start giving fuel rations out. They give you a few liters. There's people that commute to work an hour, 40 minutes, and they drive, not, sometimes or most of the time, something that's not too fuel efficient, man. Down here, down south, everybody got a Ford F-150, all right? Gas guzzling motherfucker, bro. Or diesel guzzling motherfucker, man. They say that you can see the tank falling or dwindling as they're driving. In the fuel crisis, these people with these type of vehicles can't just purchase another vehicle. They're not going to be able to commute back and forth to work. You see, you're going to have the crime rate's going to go up because of that. Because when people don't have the means to get food, water, and the basic necessities for life, and they got family, they're going to go outside and get it some way. All right, and this ain't going to be just one person or two. This is going to be a large amount of the population, man. All right, so we have this fuel crisis happening right now, and they're talking about by mid-April, hey, America's going to feel it. We should be looking at fuel rationing. Some say in a few days. I think about mid-April, max about a month or two. And the reason I say that is because the United States has strategic oil reserves, all right? Russia does, or Europe does as well. But it's also projected that they'll start filling it mid-April. And America has about 470-something million barrels of oil, like in the cut. They already had to release $175 of these motherfuckers, 175 million of these mugs. I know it's over 130 million barrels. I think it's 175 million barrels they had to release already. All right. So, hey, you see the little AI thing of Trump grabbing his head? That's right. America's already tapped into its strategic oil reserves. And then check this one out. They don't let the strategic oil reserves hit zero. They start rationing before. So you're looking at, like you're about to see on this video, mid-April. That's what we're telling people, man. Hey, repent, bro. Because in the midst of your security, hey, you could be taken the fuck out, bro. no, Ecclesiastes. So like your 5 and 7. So we tell people to repent now. Put your best foot forward now. All right? Stop partaking in the bullshit of this world, man, and clean up your act. All right? It may sound like, we're saying the same thing, because we really are. But, hey, eventually, you're going to see why. All right? If you haven't taken heed to what we're saying, which is the Lord's words, actually, you're going to die. All right? You're going to get killed. You and everybody that you love, like you really will die for, you're going to see them die in front of you. All right? As Isaiah 13 says, it says, their children shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses spoiled and their wives ravished. These are the times we're coming up in. And we're seeing the stage is primed, man. We are witnessing with wide eyes the destruction of the old world order and the ushering in of the new world order. This is Ecclesiastes 5 and 7, and we read, make no tarry to turn to the Lord. Don't wait, that's what it means. Don't wait. And put not off from day to day. That's right. For suddenly, out of the blue, shall the wrath of the Lord come forth. Right. All of a sudden, the Lord bust your ass, bro. And in thy security, thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. Right. You thinking you got it sold up. Peace and safety, which I'm going to grab that. And all of a sudden, lights go off or something like that. And your status in life, you might have been a CEO of some company. You're feeling yourself. Drive a nice car, all of that shit. And a matter of seconds, milliseconds, your status means nothing, man. You have to fight. You have to scrap out here in a couple of weeks, man. Or the Lord, in the midst of your security, the Lord can just judge you, put your ass to death, man. But right, for these mugs, you think you got it all sold up. In your security, you'll be destroyed, though. The Lord will get you. All right? Let's get, I had another one. Oh, yeah, peace and safety. And then we're going to play this, right. But the last precept, right, push not, don't tarry to turn back to the Lord. All right, don't put off this truth or what you have to do day to day, because the Lord can kill you at any time. Why you think you got everything's all planned up and laid out. All right. For a lot of people about to suffer this right here. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3, and we read, for when they shall say peace and safety, people were saying that, bruh. There were titles out there that said peace and safety, man. No bullshit. Straight up, like articles that had the headlines, peace and safety. I had mugs when DJ Trump got in office, man. I had this one Edomite, bruh. He would just say my government, we're saved. Every time I come in, he would make it his business to look at me and scream out, we're saved. Trump's going to save us. They were saying peace and safety. Now look, they talking about energy lockdowns, man, rolling blackouts. All of a sudden the lights will go the fuck off. And then there's cyber attacks happen and they might not come the fuck back on. So anyway, for when they shall say peace and safety, which is saying right now, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. That's right. All of a sudden, it could be a massive cyber attack, terrorist attacks, all type of shit can happen. All right. And the terrorist attacks that they saying that these extremist groups are planning. Oh man, they're talking about suicide bombers jumping out of planes. Attacking police, dressing up like the police, attacking ICE, dressing up like ICE, and attacking people, regular civilians. They talking about tearing shit up. Like, basically, martial law will have to be declared. Like, it will have to be declared in order to, like, filter out who's who. All right? Police, all that. Like, they'll have to, like, it'll put America in disarray. Continuing. Then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Right? Like when a woman has these contractions, she can't escape those labor pains. So just like those labor pains come unexpectedly, that's how your destruction is going to come. And just how she can't escape the labor pain, that's how it's going to be with you. All of a sudden, just like that labor pain came, your destruction is going to come. And just like she can't escape the labor pain, you're not going to be able to escape your judgment. So repent.
Well, we are officially there. The problems with gas stations are starting to surge. And now gas stations are putting up signs saying they are out of fuel. This is a huge problem. But what is happening at these fuel stations where people are being charged for purchases, yet they are not receiving the proper amount of gas, it's a huge issue. But yesterday, I talked about this. In a video I did, talk about gas pump glitches, and many people commented. I'm going to read some of those comments in a moment, but this is what was going on. Look at this right here.
Now, while there may be people that have explanations, and this may be like something that been happening already. This right here, what you're seeing on your screen. But just to talk about gas and fuel rationings and things like this is getting people to really start to notice shit. But peep this, what if this isn't a faulty mechanism, within the gas pump or whatever like that? What if something is, going down? Because this is multiple gas stations, But once again, if it is something that just was like happening already, well, people are starting to notice now because of the climate.
So there's no fuel coming out, but yet the pump continues to go up, thinking that fuel is coming out of the nozzle. And so it's charging you as a result. Many people said that they have and some have not experienced this, but they're going to be on the lookout. Listen to some of these comments. One person says, "Yup, I got ripped off yesterday. They charging an extra $1 when using card. I showed..."
All right, I'm going to skip this real quick, and get to the meat and potatoes.
For gas stations, we would replace the part and recalibrate. But listen to this comment right here.
All right.
This person says, "I know one place that is, I have a certified 2-gallon jug, but I'm only getting 1.5 gallons to shut down and let their fuel sit. And so what do? They just continue to sell it. But look at this, because this is one of the reasons why gas stations are having problems. Look at this.
These guys are hella smart. Smart as fuck. They're filling up their tanks, cause shit's about to fucking go down.
Hey, and I was on Chat GPT yesterday, and they basically said, the U.S. oil strategic oil reserves could go faster. They was like in a couple months. Doing my research, it said in a couple months they can start fuel rationing, and that was like best case scenario. But if people start doing shit like this, which people are doing things like this shit, I did it. I'm doing it tomorrow too. So some more. I got some gas and some extra gas. I'm getting some little bit of extra water, things like that. It says, "The prudent man foreseeth the trap and hideth himself." So it's not wicked to get you extra few vittles out there, as long as you ain't putting your faith into it. But anyway, when people start doing things like this, the strategic oil reserves start to dwindle faster. But and that look, these boys got some big shit, bro, and they getting it in. I got some little shit, but the point is, shit is about to go down. And this right here, this action right here, we're about to see fuel rationing very soon.
It's called, and in other places, there's no more fucking gas, guys. No more gas. We're about to fill up our tank right now, too, because Lord knows what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. People are going out.
And that's how stupid, you know, she sounded like she was like a Issachar or whatever. But that's how stupid our people is right there. You gonna fill up your car. What the fuck? Go get you a gas. They sell the gas tanks in the goddamn gas station you at. Go get you a couple of them and fill them up. You see what Esau doing? Oh, man. What you gonna fill up your vehicle for? I'll do that too, though. But that's gonna run out as soon as you get dropped off and go to work a couple days. And, oh, come on, bruh. All right. They see. They know something's going on, but they're not being prudent and hiding themselves, and which basically breaks down to translates into, you know, doing something to preserve oneself, like doing something about it, you know.
Okay, getting big gas tanks, big those gas little jugs, whatever, and they are filling them because, and again, I understand. Like a lot of people are concerned that what happens if we run out of fuel. Well, in a moment, I'm going to explain when we are being told by experts the U.S. will run out of fuel. This is a concern because it's in April.
Mid-April, that's what they're saying. But through my calculations, we're going to look at full throttle, not mid-April. We're going to be looking at that like May. Like May, mid-May. I'll give it mid-May. You'll have the dumbest nigga outside going, no shit is hitting the fan. Hey, it's a beautiful thing. That's how close we are, man. Hey, call off La Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai Bahashim Rachakudash. Hey.
It is in April. That means it's this month. Yes, we should be concerned. I want to read something to you though, okay? Some of the issues right now that we're facing. First off, there's panic buying, and I get it because people are scared that they will have no fuel. So they're panicking.
You panic buy too. You brothers and sisters that stumble across this video, you go out there, you panic buy too. But you ain't panicking. All right? You just being prudent. All right? As a matter of fact, man, let me grip that, man. Let me grip that. All right, here we go. This is Proverbs 22:3, and we read, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. You see? You see what's going on. Oh, okay. And you prepare. You do something to help you over the hard times. Make times go smoother, man. And hideth himself. But the simple, the foolish, the retards out there pass on and are punished. So we've been telling people for a long time to prepare, man. All right? The real prudent is the elect. All right? But let's take it on a surface level. Like the little video we was just watching. Shorty in there talking about we gonna fill up our vehicles too. They not just filling up their vehicle, they're filling up gas tanks, man. Couple of them big boys too. All right. They wasn't being prudent. Now Esau was over there being prudent. They wasn't. They was looking and just passed on. Said you gonna fill up your vehicle anyway. If there wasn't an energy crisis. You see? But when you get into the word prudent, it gets into wise. All right? So it'll be wise of you. You see? Usually it's crafty. It's usually in a bad sense. Nah. Crafty, prudent, subtle, crafty, sly, crafty, prudent. All right? But when you look up the just simple definition, let's hold that, define. Boom. Prudent describes acting with or showing careful thought. You see? Careful thought. Wisdom. Bars. And foresight. Particularly regarding one's own interest, finances, or safety. It implies being cautious, sensible, and managing resources economically to avoid risk. And spiritually, all of that, man. You know, your own interest. Hey, you trying to make it. You trying to be the elect. That's your own interest. Finances. We trying to store riches in heaven, right? And safety. Hey, we trying to hide up under the shadow of the Lord, because it says, "And hideth himself." Where do you hide behind or hide under? Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You gotta hide in a secret place. All right. Continue.
Fine. But the next one, okay, is especially when we're hearing the stories about southern Florida having a lot of gas stations shut down where there's a fuel shortage. The problem is not that we don't produce enough. The problem is that there is a disruption in distribution. That's the big issue. That shipping is a problem. Trucking is a problem. But I want to play something for you. Listen to this right here.
And the crisis begins. So some gas stations in Florida have announced that they have run out of gas. In case y'all don't know, the United States does have a lot of oil, but we produce light oil, and our oil refineries process heavy oil. So we can't even process the oil we're getting out of the ground that we have. We have to send that over to other countries to process, because our plants only process the heavy oil, like from Venezuela.
Well, see, American refineries can process other oils too, not just heavy oils, but they were built to process heavy crude and not light sweet oil or anything like that. But as they're going to break down, see, America needs, in order to process light crude, they need to blend and mix certain things because they don't have the refineries to do that. So like the brother's saying, in order to refine these things, both of them are right, but the brother is mostly right. He just is missing the distribution part. But in order to refine these things, yeah, you have to send it to other refineries, or you have to wait, let it sit there in order for you to mix it so you can get a certain crude or whatever, you know. So he's right. America has refineries for heavy crude oils, all right, not lighter oils, all right. That's what America produces, light sweet oils, all right. Crude, Slovakia.
Okay. That is somewhat true. Not entirely true, but it's not entirely false. Here's what we do know, okay? The light crude. This is what the U.S. shale oil. This is what we pull out of the ground, okay? Now, this is easier to refine into gasoline. Heavy crude. This is coming from like Canada, Venezuela, other countries as well. It's thicker, it's harder to process. Now, here's the other thing. There's called sweet and sour crude as well. Sweet crude is low in sulfur, which means it's cleaner, it's easier to refine. Sour crude is high in sulfur, requires more processing.
Which America's refineries are for heavy sour crude. So this is why you see America having a lot of oil, but you just can't refine it because your own refineries ain't made to refine the oil that is coming out of your own ground. For real, you can do it, but it's not efficient, man. All right. Instead, you built some shit like you was planning on taking other people's shit to refine they shit. Like, why you building plants or oil refineries to refine other people's oil, like Venezuela, Mexico, and shit like that?
The U.S. primarily produces light, sweet crude, meaning it's low in sulfur, it's easier to refine. That's what you need to understand. Why is this important? Here's why. Let me read this to you. Okay? Many U.S. refineries, specifically near the Gulf Coast, were designed decades ago to process heavy sour crude from countries like Canada, Venezuela, even Mexico. Okay? So refineries today often blend different types of crudes together to optimize production for gas, for jet fuel, for diesel, things like that. So,
which another thing, planes are feeling it too. All right, because this shortage is affecting jet fuel. which planes fuel up with jet fuel, right? Well, not, it's like different versions of shit. But yeah, man, hey. So we're going to start to see them limit people flying and things of this nature, man. And the high sensitive items to be shipped and things like that, you're going to start seeing those delays, man, as well, man. So yeah, we see in America circling the drain. We are witnessing literally the destruction of the old world order and the ushering in of the new.
And this person says that it is because we're not processing the right type of crude. That, again, partially true. But here's the real issue. We are coming up on a shortage. I want to play something for you. Listen to this right here.
When exactly is the world going to run low on fuel? Well, it's going to happen in phases, according to JP Morgan, which has done an analysis on this, starting in Asia, moving through Africa, then into Europe and the US in late April. So Asia is already feeling it, running low on oil stocks. And that's because they receive oil from the Middle East first. So it typically takes between 10 and 20 days. The last oil shipments left the Middle East at the end of February. And in Southeast Asia, for example, stocks are already down by 41%. So you're starting to see shortages there and obviously prices soaring. Africa will come next. So they'll start feeling it in early April. According to JP Morgan, it'll be mid-April for Europe and then on to the United States. The US and Europe do have their own stocks and their own supplies, but they'll start running lower as well, and prices will just keep going higher basically until the war stops and they can reopen supplies in the Middle East. When exactly is the world...
There you have it. The United States is going to be right after Europe, likely about 1 to 2 weeks after Europe. Europe is going to happen sometime in the middle of April.
And like I told you, before strategic oil reserves are fully tapped, they don't go to zero. All right? Like, okay, does your gas tank go to zero before you fill it up? No, some mugs, hey, to be really smart about it, soon as it's about to even hit a quarter of the tank, that shit is too low, man. Soon as it hits half, you should be like, all right, I gotta, let me throw a 10 in this tank real quick or something like that. Well, if you think that way about your gas tank, how much more the strategic oil reserves of the United States? Man, when that shit half tank, bro, which 400 and something million barrels, you already tapped into 1 point something, I believe 170 something million barrels already. Shit. I mean, that's a big dent you put in that. Hey, fuel rationing very soon. If not mid-April, by May, but the climax probably, I'm speaking as a man, it's going to hit. I'm talking about even the dumbest nigga is going no shit hitting the fan come mid-May.
President Trump has made it very clear that Iran has until Tuesday night, okay, so tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, they have to
which Iran already said no.
Reopen the Strait of Hormuz. They have to do that. If they don't, President Trump has vowed a massive, massive strike. He is going to strike their infrastructure and their bridges, their power plants. This is going to happen tomorrow night. So we're going to see what happens. But what I can tell you right now is if this war drags on another week, just one more week, we are going to experience shortages right here in the United States.
Well, there you have it. Exciting times. Once again, we are witnessing the destruction of the old world order and the ushering in of the new world order. So with that, I hope you could take something from this. Hope it was edifying. Shalom.